Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. So, we're on to do some more readings. Just give me a second. That's always fun. Here am I. Here. Cool girl. Hello, everyone. Hello, Myshell. Hello, Tashi. Okay, guys. So, we are on to do readings. Just let me get this shared out. I can spell tonight would be amazing. How's everyone doing tonight? Okay. Bum, 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 bum. Share there. There. Hello, Ruth. So, how's everyone doing? I need to take off my sweater before I rest it out. So, guys, we're just going to go through the rules really quick, and I'm going to introduce myself, and then we're going to jump into this. I want to show you guys the new deck I got, too, because I'm super excited about this deck. I am. After I can get my chair up working, it's not going to work for me. So, for anyone new watching, if you don't know who I am, my name is Becky, and I am the co-owner of Mystical Essence. I do tarot readings, I do astrology readings, I do spiritual mentoring, and oracle card readings. So tonight I'm on to do some tarot readings. I have been doing tarot readings for about 5 years, give or take. I started doing them on myself because I wanted to learn more about myself, and then that kind of branched out into doing them for friends, and then friends branched out into this, and now I'm doing them for all of you guys. So that's what I forgot to do. Oh my god. So we're gonna put the link in the pinned comment before I forget about that one too. It has been, my brain's not working tonight, guys, so you're gonna have to bear with me. I gotta find the link here. I'm like, wait a minute. It's not gonna be helpful. Okay. Switch. There we go. And we'll pin that. I'll turn my volume up down. I think that's down. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So here's how you guys can get a reading. If you're interested, let me go through the rules here, and then we'll jump into these readings, I promise. So first way to get a reading is to purchase one. If you purchase one, you are guaranteed a reading, okay? So purchased readings can be about anything. Any question you may have. I do not do health questions, pregnancy questions, or legal questions, so those ones I cannot answer, but any other question you have, I can. Okay? So there is a link in the pinned comment. There should be one for that takes you over to a section on my Etsy. So in that section is all the options for the different live readings. So you pick whichever one works for you. And once I receive your payment, I can do your reading for you. Okay. So that's the first way, is to pay. The second way is you can comment your name for a chance to get a free reading, and I will read for whoever I'm drawn to. So, commenting your name, I just want to clear up, does not guarantee a reading. So if you really, really, really need a reading, the best option is to go over to my Etsy. The readings over there are between $5 and $10, depending on what you can afford. Okay. If you receive a free reading and you want a longer reading, or you want me to look into something different, you can purchase a reading using the pinned comment, the link in there. Please use your manners, okay, guys? I will block and delete anyone who is rude or disrespectful. I want to keep this a safe place for everyone, okay? So it's just a matter of being respectful. Disrespect will get you blocked. If you get a reply to your comment, an inbox, or a friend's request offering a reading, these are scams. Please block them. There have been a few people who have tried to duplicate my page and created personal profiles under my name using my pictures. They are not me. I will never inbox you guys for a reading. I will never friends request you. In fact, I cannot friends request as a page on Facebook. So that just is not me. Please know that these guys are scams. And also, there are a bunch of people who will come through and just continue to go through the comment section and be like, read, come, message me for this, for a reading, inbox me for a reading, whatever, those are scams too. So please just block them. I do try and block them as I see them come up on the lives, but sometimes I'm not always able to. Okay. Ruth, it's okay. Hello, Lucky. I know it's been a while since I have been on YouTube. My laptop did not break. My charger for my laptop broke. I have 3 laptops, okay? And the charger that runs the 2 laptops, the 2 mini ones, broke. And my son uses the big one. So I had no laptop access for a while, and the only way that I can use YouTube is off of my laptop. Otherwise, I cannot pin the comments that I need, and it really, really sucked. And then I bought more chargers, and they were the wrong size. Yes, I have not been on YouTube in quite a while. I apologize about that. Um, yeah. So YouTube has not been working for me lately, but it's back working. Um, it is Mercury retrograde. Yes, it is. I have three. My oldest is not, well, she's not really a baby. I have two teenagers, and my youngest is 4. Ba, 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 ba. Yeah. Mercury retrograde has actually the chargers broke before retrograde, so I can't blame it on retrograde. I cannot blame it on retrograde. Okay, guys. Oh, I love the teenage years. Actually, my teenagers aren't that bad. I can't. They're pretty good teenagers. I cannot complain about it. I haven't gotten into the crazy rebellion with them yet. So, my oldest that doesn't live with me, she's like 22, and I think that she wasn't a bad teenager. So I'm hoping that that rubs off on my other two. They've been pretty good so far. Okay, guys, so I'm just gonna go through and start names here. Give me a second. If you guys happen to purchase a reading and I'm gabbing, please let me know because sometimes the notifications usually come up on my phone, but sometimes they don't. And sometimes it takes a minute. So if you tell me you're purchasing a reading, I know to wait for you and not log off. Um, Ruth, you are the third person in the past 2 weeks to tell me I don't look old enough to have a daughter. Well, okay, teenager. My two managers actually, their minds were blown when they found out I had teenagers, and I wasn't going to tell them that I had a daughter over 18 because I think their heads would have exploded. Um, They were like, I wouldn't have put you like past. They thought I was like 22 to 25, and I'm like, well, that's definitely a compliment. My one manager, she was like, when you turn 100, you're gonna be looking like you're 50. I'm jealous. Lyndsey, you purchased. Perfect, perfect. Hold on, let me grab your notification thingy here. Let me see. Your highest guide. Are you sure you want messages from your highest guide? Hello, Cicely. So today, guys, I'm using the Spellcaster's Tarot. I love this tarot deck. And I do have a new tarot deck I want to show you guys too. So give me a second. I'll do Lyndsey's message from, hold on, highest guide. I need a bigger workspace, but I don't have the space for a bigger workspace. It popped in your head. Hello, Mari. I'm glad I look younger. The only disadvantage to looking younger is I get ID'd for everything. I was old enough to drink and all that stuff. They always ID'd me for stuff. I swear I'm old enough. Now if they ID me, I'm happy because Lyndsey, a message from her. Yeah. And so Lyndsey, what we got coming up for you, my dear? We have the three of Pentacles. I had to double check that. We had the Two of Swords reversed. We have the Eight of Cups reversed. We have the Nine of Pentacles upright. And then we have the Moon on the bottom of the deck reversed. So I feel like you've done a lot of work on insecurities, right, and fears and facing and confronting those. And I do feel like a lot of the fears that you have had around certain situations have been dissipating because you've been working on getting rid of them. And you've made a decision about something, they're telling you to keep working it towards it, okay? Because there is prosperity in this. And I think you have made a pretty clear decision to not walk away from something, okay? And I feel like that's the right decision. Like, I feel like you were kind of in a place at one point or another where you're like, do I stay? Do I go? Do I just, walk away from this completely? Or do I stick it out and see it through? And I feel like you made the decision to stick it out and see it through. And they're telling me that this was the right decision and to continue moving forward with that decision. Now, with the Eight of Cups coming up reversed, I still see that there could be some challenges that come up with this that could make you want to or tempt you to want to walk away, but it's important that you keep pushing through this. The other thing with the Three of Pentacles coming through, my dear, is that this is a teamwork effort, okay? It is important to work as a team. And I don't know why I'm being pulled to some sort of family matter that this is relating to, but I'm going to say this is a family matter because they're pulling me towards the children in this picture. And I feel like this is you, representative of you, and this is your kids, okay? They want you to remember that you are an example to your children. So if you want your children to live a certain way and act a certain way and do certain things, you need to embody that energy and do it as well, okay? You teach by example. So you also need to work together with them. And that's where the teamwork comes in. I think sometimes as parents, we can get caught up in the authoritative role over it and start seeing our kids as beneath us, but they actually are team members, okay? They're a part of a family, and a family is a dynamic, it's a team, okay? So you have to work together, but keep working with them and you'll achieve what you want to achieve. But remember, it's a team effort and that nobody is above anybody, okay? They're really kind of emphasizing that no one is above anyone and you have to lead by example, okay? Because they are bringing out some hypocritical stuff where you may have been said one thing and done another and expected your children or people who you are teaching to do what you are not doing. And they're like, that's not going to work, okay? But with this comes a lot of abundance, okay? You can get to where you want to be. You just got to keep pushing forward with things. And again, lead by example, okay? If you want anything to change, you got to keep leading by example. Does that make sense? I feel like that's specifically around your family dynamic, though. Perfect. Good. I'm glad that that made sense. You're welcome. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, guys. Hello, Billy Joe. Hello, Mari. Okay, guys. So let me pop that off the screen. Lucky. I just got your purchase. Thank you so much. So what is your question, my dear? What do you want me to look into for you? Okay, the shaking your head does not sound like this is a very positive thing. Let's see what we can find out. What? I remember I remember you saying that. So do you want me to do just a general on your love life, like to see what is exactly going on and what information I can pull out? Yeah. Okay, perfect. It's a general. That one. Yeah. What is a general? I feel like I might have to pull out my other deck for this one. Wasn't wanting, I wasn't expecting to read with that deck, but we'll see. Okay. Oh, so we have the Page of Swords coming up reversed. We have the Star card coming up reversed. We have all these cards are reversed. We have the Nine of Wands, sorry, coming up reversed, and in behind that was the Eight of Cups. And then we have the we have the Death card. We have the Death card on the bottom. But the way that the Death card came through was instead of, it was just major shifts and changes and transformations. I do see you when I pulled that page, the Page of Swords. It was like you're pulling out. Okay, look how big that freaking sword. Okay. So I got that whoever you pulled the big guns out on needs to stay gone. I feel like they're gonna come back. I feel like this is probably Tim, that is coming back and wants to reconnect, obviously. And I feel like you pulled the swords out and said no, like the big guns out, and you were like, this is where I'm at. This is where it's at. This is, and now they're coming back, but they're saying the cards are saying it needs to stay gone. Because underneath this death card is this Nine of Cups, and the Nine of Cups is the wish fulfillment card. You can see the genie there. So I feel like there's definitely other opportunities, and there's better things underneath of this death and transformation that's been going on. These shifts and changes have been for positive things, so whatever is in the past needs to stay in the past. Okay. The other thing that's coming through is the Star card reversed. You have a really strong intuition. And you're able to balance things. I feel like you're able to see a lot of different perspectives of things, and you're able to see the pros and cons of things. Like, you're very analytical and logical, and you weigh things out and you see the pros and cons and everything. But not only are you logical, but you're also tapped into your intuition as well, because the Star card is that Aquarius kind of energy, which, for as intuitive as they are also very logical, being an air sign, right? So it's like but with that reversed, they're saying you need to follow your intuition more, because I feel like the logic outweighs the intuitive. And what happens is you start kind of going more with what makes sense rather than what you're feeling. Okay. And they want you to go more with your intuition, to trust yourself more, because I feel like you may know this stuff already, but then you second guess yourself, or you just kind of sweep it under the rug as maybe that's just a coincidence, or, this happened for this reason. And you try to rationalize your intuition, which is really, really hard to do. Okay. And they want you to stop trying to rationalize it and make sense of it, and just go with it and trust yourself. Because the more you trust yourself on your intuition, the stronger it's going to be, and the more you're going to be able to develop it. Okay. On the other side of this as well, there is somebody that they're saying to stick, I feel like stick with who you are with. Yeah. With your Venus there too, with Venus in Aquarius, my dear, you tend to approach relationships like an Aquarius would. So, you can kind of logicalize, I guess, intellectualize your relationships and love. So that doesn't surprise me. Um, but what they are saying too is this other person, let me go back up to your original comment here. This other person you got to let down your defenses with. Okay. I feel like the Nine of Wands reversed is saying let down your guard a little bit, so that this person doesn't have to, because otherwise there's a possibility this person could walk away. Okay. You have a new chance and a new opportunity. I'm seeing that because there's also the Knight of Swords coming through behind. I'll show you the cards that are on the bottom of the deck. So we had the Death card, and then in behind that was the Nine of Cups. In behind that was the Knight of Swords, and in behind that was the Lover's card. So there is another person underneath this coming in, right? Or that's already in, but this requires you to be a little bit more vulnerable than what you're used to being. Okay, so that this person doesn't turn around and walk away, because I feel like if you have your guards up, my dear, and you're not showing some vulnerability, they could turn around and say it's just not worth it and walk away. Because I feel like this person is very straightforward. They're very action oriented, and they're looking to see actions instead of actions on what you say instead of just words. Does that make sense? Yeah. Well, keep trying. I mean, that's all you can really do, right? At the end of the day, you can only try, right? Nobody's perfect. So try your best to keep your guard down and to not. Also, the other thing is to not bring past energies into new relationships. So that's a little bit hard too, because sometimes we have experiences in past relationships that we tend to bring those into new relationships. And then those things end up affecting our new relationships, and we project that onto our new partners, which is not something you want to do either. Um, yeah, trying to think if there's anything else coming. I think that covers it. Yeah. That's very much a Knight of Swords kind of energy. Very, very fast moving, quick moving, but they mean what they say. And they can be very passionate at the same point in time. He's an Aries. He's an Aries and you're an Aquarius. You're an Aquarius rising. That's interesting. The other thing that I'm getting is I know this is going to maybe sound a bit weird, but to do a ceremony of some sort to kind of say goodbye and farewell to the previous relationship, just to finally let it go. Because I feel like that's going to help to let go of these past experiences so that you don't bring them into this new relationship, if that makes sense. They keep showing me a funeral, and it's not like a literal funeral. I know it's a symbolic funeral, but that's something I think that a lot of people are doing right now, is kind of clearing out past experiences and past energies from experiences. And that's something that we need to do, or we should be doing, whenever we move into new relationships, if at all possible, is clearing out some of the past traumas and past energies, and you know doing I don't want to say cord cutting, but kind of similar to that. Even if you didn't leave on bad terms, it's still good to say goodbye to that aspect and part and time of your life. You're a Pisces. Oh my goodness. Well, yes, as a water sign, you definitely want to do some sort of clearing work, I'm gonna say, because As a Scorpio, we tend to hold on to a lot of things. He just told you not to bring old energies into what you see. I think the cards are just confirming what you've already been told then. That's funny. Because we do it so often. And I think sometimes we don't even realize we're doing it. The other deck, I don't know if I want to read with this deck though. This deck is a little, okay, so I may have like found this deck at work. And if any of you are familiar with Doreen Virtue, she doesn't make decks anymore. They've been discontinued. And I work at a thrift store, and somebody got rid of her deck. Like, quite literally, got rid of her deck. My whole shift, I was like, I needed that deck because I need this deck. So my whole shift, I was like, somebody better not purchase that deck so I can get it. Sure enough, I had the deck by the end of the day. So let's see. I want to see if there's anything else because this deck was pulling to me. So we're gonna pull some cards. This card's coming out along with this card. Yeah. So we have the Five of Autumn on the bottom of the deck. That's the Five of Pentacles. We have the Empress reversed. And then we have the Ace of Summer, which is the Ace of Wands. So I do feel like you have made a decision. You've made a fairly strong decision in the past about what you are, what you want to do, where you want to go. And I feel like you're holding strong to that decision, which is good. And this is bringing in a new person, like I said, and starting a new thing. What is on the bottom is the Five of Autumns, which is the Five of Pentacles, and that's telling me that, whatever this is that's being ended and changed and transformed, it needs to end because it was bringing nothing really but hardships. And finally, you'll be able to get out of this rut that you've been in for a while and move on with things. You're very welcome. So they're pretty much saying the same thing. I don't know why they do that to me, but yes. We're gonna put that. I want to put this deck away, but then I don't want to put it away in case I need it again. So we're gonna put this deck out. Just throwing that over there. You're very welcome. Thank you for letting me read for you. It is a very cool deck, Cicely. I was like, even if it's the same message. If it's the same message, it's a good thing because I feel like that just makes you sure that the message is spread across, right? When you're getting it from more than one deck, it's always a good thing. And yes, Cicely, I haven't worked with that deck too much, but I also know the value of it, and they were selling it for like $8. That's what I paid for it. And if you go look, because they're no longer made, they're worth hundreds of dollars. And I don't even know why I'm using them, but like the deck, it was brand new almost. Like it looked like it had hardly ever been used. So I was happy. Until my manager wanted a reading, and then I'm like, I don't know if I want to read for you because if I say the wrong thing, I might lose my job. I don't think he'd fire me though, but that was funny. Okay. He wouldn't. They wouldn't fire me for that, but I just like to joke around about it. Um, okay. So, you guys, if anyone wants a reading, the way to get a guaranteed reading tonight from me is to purchase one. There is a link in the pinned comment below. They are between $5 to $20. It's whatever you can afford. So just choose whichever one you can afford. And once I get your payment, I can do your reading. So Etsy also has an option for PayPal. So if you don't um, want to pay using whatever, PayPal is an option as well. You can pay using PayPal. If that makes sense. Otherwise, we're just going through and I'm just picking people that I'm pulled to. If you commented your name, um, let me know. Cicely, I like the deck. However, the only thing I don't like about it, and it's funny because these are the decks that I was actually warning people about, is the fact that they have like literally the meaning written on the bottom of the deck. And that bothers me to a degree because I feel like then I focus so much on what it says at the bottom that I don't let my intuition read it, which is something I have been very, very cautious about because I've seen people move from decks like these to decks like this that have no words and then they can't read them. So, who all is still on, guys? Let me know. It's the thing you have to keep in mind when you're reading with ones that have like words. Like one or two words isn't bad because it gives you something to pull your intuition off of. But when it has like the full out meaning of the card on the bottom, you got to be careful that you're not just reading the card and that you're actually using your intuition. Awesome, Myshell. Janet, hello. It is distracting. It can be very distracting, Cicely. I've seen the Deviant Moon used. I've never used that deck, but I have heard a lot from people who have used it that it's a really, really good deck. Perfect. Okay. Let me go to my orders, guys, and Mari, where are you? Yeah. Perfect, perfect. So, what is your question? What can I look into tonight for you? There was something I was going to say too. No, it's gone. It's gone. Why is my phone not charging? What is going on? There we go. What message do you need to hear? Let's see. What message? Whoa. Oh. Okay. Three of Wands. Interesting. So we have the Judgment card coming up for you, my dear. We have the Five of Pentacles coming up reversed. We have the Temperance card coming up reversed. We have the Ten of Wands coming up in behind that. And then we have the Chariot card reversed coming up in behind that. And then we have the Three of Wands on the bottom of the deck. And what I've gotten is that there's something you need to set free and let go of right now, and that you're going through, because I kept hearing karma, and it's like you're going through this process or need to go through this karma clearing process. Okay, because what I was immediately drawn to in the Three of Wands even was the bird and how it was flying. It was like you need to set it free is what came through. And then the Judgment card talks about a rebirth. This can talk about being held accountable for things you have done in your life, decisions you have made. You know, it's also an accountability card, right? And making, but I feel like what's coming through is these are choices that you have made in not necessarily this life, but a previous life. They want you to know, okay, this is going to get deep, but here we go. So if you've been wondering what the purpose of your life is and what you're supposed to be doing in this lifetime, I feel like you're supposed to be breaking one of your purposes for being here in this lifetime is to break karmic patterns and cycles that you have been stuck in for a while and to end these cycles. Okay. The Five of Pentacles is coming up reversed, which is saying it's breaking hard times. It's getting out of these difficult situations, but I keep seeing a wheel. So I feel like these are situations that have occurred lifetime after lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, and your soul's like sick of it. So now I'm going to put an end to this, right? Now I'm going to break these cycles that have just been happening for a very long time. With the Temperance card reversed, this is integration for me. That was what was coming through. It was like pulling a little bit of this and pulling a little bit of that and integrating it all together. But when it's reversed, you're separating instead of integrating, right? So I feel like that's what's going through with this karma is you're going through all these different things that you have done in the past and things that you're being held accountable for, whatever. And you're like, I want to separate myself from this energy. And that's what's going to stop the cycle is separating yourself from that energy, right? When you can break, like I said, break that loop, break that cycle. And that's what you're doing. This is energy you have been carrying around for a very long time But when you came back, your soul was like, no, this is a final time with this 10 of Wands. This is a final time you're carrying this energy around. It's done. It's over. It's over. It's over. And that's okay because you don't want to be carrying this energy around anymore. You're like, I don't want to be going down this path anymore. The Chariot reversed, it's like you're just kind of done traveling down that road, right? You're like, I want to go down a new road. I want to explore something different. I may not know where the hell I'm going from here on out, but this cycle, this shit, it's all ending. It's all ending. And that's what you're here in this lifetime to do. That's what they want you to know. Okay? So the difficult situations, the challenges you find yourself in this lifetime, they are not to hold you down. They are to rise you up so that you can break out of these cycles and these habits and change them in this lifetime so that you don't have to continue dealing with them in future lifetimes. And I know that's going to get a little bit deep, like I said, but that's what I'm getting. Does that make sense to you? Awesome. Well, I'm glad that that made sense. I also get tests. Like they test you a lot. And that's the other thing. Like after you break these patterns, expect to be tested because they will test you to make sure that you're not going to go back. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Myshell. So thank you, Mari, for letting me read it for you, and I hope that that was helpful. But yes, I also feel like a lot of the ways that that manifests for you in this lifetime is like in financial difficulties or like physical difficulties. Could even be like health-wise in terms of like your physical body or finances. But I feel like that's kind of the major area that it affects at the moment. Myshell. Awesome. I'm glad that that was on point for you. Perfect. Thank you for letting me read for you. Awesome. Okay. So you wanted a general. What does she need to know? Hmm. Okay. Myshell. So what we got coming up, we have the Fool reversed. We have the Queen of Wands reversed. We have the Wheel card or the Wheel of Fortune. And then the Eight of Cups is in behind that. And then we have the Six of Pentacles coming up with the Temperance reversed on the bottom of the deck. Okay. So what I'm picking up on is right now, you seem very focused on things outside of yourself when you need to be focusing on yourself. Okay. Spirit wants is they keep guiding me back to self, self, self. The Fool card is yourself. It's you. Okay. The Queen of Wands is you. Your fire, your passion, your energy. This is all you. But this is reversed, meaning you're not paying attention to you right now. It feels like your energy is going in a lot of different places except for on you. Okay. I feel like this energy is going towards other people or finding a way to fill a void that's been missing in your life. Now, whether this be through people or habits, habits isn't quite the word I want to use for this, but it's the best word that I can grab at the moment. Um, hobbies, things that you do to kind of keep yourself from focusing on other things. Okay. Things you do to keep yourself distracted, right? You've got your eyes on a lot of different distractions at the moment instead of focusing on what you need to be focusing on, which is you. And I feel like this is in terms of relationships specifically, because you're looking for somebody to fill a void. They want to emphasize divine timing. Things will happen when they are meant to happen, and no matter how much you try and push that envelope, it's not gonna happen before it's meant to happen. Um, but they're saying like right now the wheel's turning towards you, right? The wheel is at this point, it's at the low where you need to be. They keep showing me winter, right? And winter is a time where we tend to stay inside. We focus on ourselves because we really can't go outside and socialize, right? So it's a time of the year where a lot of introspection happens, where we kind of look within and we focus on ourselves. That's where this wheel is pointed downward, inward to you. And that's what you need to be focusing on this at this time. They're like, with the Eight of Cups and behind that, it's like you have this, you're focused on what has spilled. Do you see how this is kind of reading like the Five of Cups is, only a little bit different because the Five of Cups is a loss, right? This is more of like a void. And you're focusing on the one cup, like you can see this guy's face is down towards the cup that's spilt over. Well, there's this cup here that's still upright, and there's all of these cups still stacked. Like you're like, there's something missing, there's something missing. What's missing is you. You have to be focusing on filling your own cup before you can fill anybody else's, right? And I feel like in terms of relationships, you're focused on what's spilt, what hasn't succeeded, what emotions aren't being fulfilled, what void is there, instead of focusing on filling your own cup. You're like, it's distractions. You're focusing on filling everybody else's cup, anything to keep you from focusing on filling your own cup. Okay. Maybe not focusing on the loss. but focusing on anything rather than the fact that you need to fill up your own cup because your own cup is empty. Let me rephrase that. This is you. Your cup is spilt over and empty because you're giving, focused on everybody else, right? But you seem to be like still on all these other cups. There's a whole bunch of distraction stuff going on. That's probably why I was reading it backwards too, right? Like I said, distracted energy. So you need to be focusing on you and filling your own cup, okay? They want to remind you, my dear, that everything is a partnership. Your physical world is a reflection of your internal world as well. When you focus on you and you fill your own cup, you will be able to attract a partner who fills you up just as much. But it starts with you. It's that reflection, right? So when you fill your own cup and then you have enough to give to another, then you kind of attract somebody who you mutually fill each other up. Does that make sense? But until you have that full cup, you're never going to attract that partner you want because you need to love yourself first. Yeah, and the temperance on the bottom is pretty much saying that too. Like, stop distracting, stop. You have to work on integrating your own energy first, and then eventually that'll integrate out into the world, and you'll draw the person who you're supposed to be with to you, if that makes sense. But it all starts with you and inside you. So that's what I've got for you, Myshell, is to start focusing on yourself, work on yourself, work specifically on reclaiming your own power, and revitalizing yourself, re-energizing yourself, finding your own passion, finding your own desires, and reclaiming your own power. So here's something you're going to want to do too that is coming to mind, is pulling back all your energy and all your power, so to speak, to reclaim your power from people you have left it with. Okay. I feel like there's little bits of you kind of left everywhere at the moment, or at least your energy and your power. They want to say power. They're telling me to say power. It's not even your energy, it's your power. So, like, every situation you've had that has left you defeated and left you powerless, pull back that power that you have left there. Okay? Pull it back to draw it back into you. Does that make sense? It's time for you to start reclaiming your power and taking it back. Yes, you need to re-up your power. But it's not... So I had this discussion earlier today, that a lot of women, we forget our power. We forget our power a lot of times. And what we do is when we get into relationships with people that disempower us, we leave our power with them. And when we get out of those relationships, we forget to pull that power back. And then we walk around as disempowered people because we're leaving our power with these other people. And at any point in time, because we willingly gave our power to these people, we can willingly pull our power back. It is as easy as saying, I take it back, and meaning it, right? It doesn't have to be some big elaborate ritual or spell or whatever. It's the intention, right? Saying, I reclaim my power. I take my power back from everyone and everything whom is no longer serving my highest good, whom I left it with. And mean it, but you got to mean it. That's the other thing. If it's not heartfelt, it won't work, right? Um, but yeah, there's a lot of times we leave our power with other people and we don't pull it back. And then we wonder why we're drained of energy or why we feel so low and why we have no self-confidence and why, because we've left our confidence, we've left our power with these other people who have hurt us and mistreated us in the past. And I feel like, especially right now, women need to be pulling back their power. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Mm-hmm. You're very welcome, and thank you for letting me read for you. Okay. Hello, Mrs. Jones. So guys, I'm seeing a lot of people asking specific questions. So if you have a specific question, I can definitely answer that, but those are paid readings. So if you want to ask a specific question, there's a link in the pinned comments that will take you over to my Etsy page. There's several options for readings over there. They range from $5 all the way through to $20. It's whatever you can afford. And then once I get your payment, I can do your reading for you. Okay. I am trying to pull some people for just a random message, but hello, Carlos. Diana, are you? I'm gonna. So I have starred people's names that have left their names if you guys want a free reading. The free readings are general readings, so they are not anything specific. It is just whatever comes through in the cards. So I don't focus on anything, just what message you need to hear. Okay, if you guys have something specific, those are paid readings, which you can purchase through the pinned comments. You guys want a free reading? All you have to do is comment your name and I will star you. I'm still looking for people I'm pulled to, I think. Diana, I don't think, I'm pretty sure you're not on here anymore, but on the off chance that you are, please let me know. I don't think you are. Okay. So Mrs. Jones will pull one message for that. So what I'm getting is a Chariot reversed for you, and what came through was the saying it's not always about the destination, but the journey. And I feel like for you, the message that's coming through that you need to hear is that sometimes it's okay to just explore things without knowing a destination, without necessarily knowing what's going to happen or where you're going to end up, right? I feel like you need to start just taking some time to enjoy life in general, and enjoy the experiences in your life for what they are. I'm getting that sometimes we get too focused on, you can get too focused on, goals and things needing to happen for a purpose or needing to happen to lead to a certain place, that you miss out on enjoying the experience for what it is. They keep pulling me back to a TikTok. I can keep hearing it in my mind over and over and over again that I heard that says, sometimes it's okay if relationships don't last for years, if marriages don't last for years, if, things don't always turn out the way they were meant to, because our life is full of moments and that's really all that we have. And sometimes we forget that our life could be over tomorrow. And if your life were to end tomorrow, would you be satisfied with the life you have lived? Right? And I feel like that's the question you need to ask yourself. And if not, then you need to start living your life for the moments, so that if you were to die tomorrow, you would die happy and die satisfied. Because again, it's not always about the destination in life, it's more the journey. Does that make sense? Take some time to enjoy the moments for what they are. They don't always have to lead somewhere. Perfect. Okay, is there anybody else on that wants a reading? Tori. You've been on for a while. Thank you. Okay, let's see. What message? What's my message? Message. Okay, so Tori, we have the Four of Cups coming up reversed for you, the Ace of Pentacles, and behind that, the Nine of Swords, the Empress card reversed, and the Knight of Wands reversed. What I'm getting from this is to don't let your fears get the best of you, okay? Stop allowing yourself to get caught up in fears, anxieties, the what ifs, the what ifs of life, right? Because nothing is ever guaranteed. And if you do not take a chance, you're going to be missing out on a lot of good opportunities, or could potentially miss out on a lot of opportunities. So we have the Nine of Swords coming up and the Four of Cups reversed, which is telling me, you need to stop dwelling on things and sitting in things and soaking things in, right? And just, sitting in the cesspool of things, particularly in terms of anxieties, fears, uncertainties, and what ifs, right? A lot of times we sit and we don't take chances in life because we're like, what if, right? The Ace of Pentacles is saying by sitting in this energy and allowing your fears to get the best of you, you are blocking yourself from potential opportunities that are coming to you. And these could be very good things. You're also stopping yourself from progression and growth, okay? Fears hold you back. Fears keep us chained. Fears, all of those anxieties, emotions, wondering what if, all the unknowns that tend to generate fear keep us chained. They keep us limited. We can break through those. There's a lot of opportunities for you, but sitting in this energy right now is not helping you grow and progress any. Have you ever looked into a emotional support pet? Well, maybe not pet, animal. You said you struggle with really bad anxiety, and I'm seeing the wolf in behind her. That might be something, finding a animal for emotional support might be something that helps you. Even if you can't find an animal for emotional support, like a pet-wise, finding, going out in nature or connecting with an animal that you highly connect with that makes you feel safe and secure is something else that might help. You're welcome. I'm glad that that's what you needed to hear. And thank you for letting me read for you. So if you guys want a specific reading, there's a link in the pinned comments where you can purchase a reading. They are anywhere between $5 to $20, depending on what you can afford. So that'll take you over to my Etsy and just choose the reading that you can afford from there. And then once I get your payment, I can answer any question you guys have. Okay, so any specific questions are paid readings only. If you guys want a free reading or a chance at a free reading, if I'm drawn to you, all you got to do is comment your name. And if I feel pulled to you, I will pull some cards, but they are general readings, so it is just whatever message comes through. Awesome, Tori. You're very welcome. I'm glad that that was on point for you. Also, Tori, if you cannot, animals too, wolves are really good for drawing for inner strength. So like wearing a pendant or tapping into that animal energy might be something else that helps you. Yeah, no, I can agree. Anxiety sucks. I struggle with it too, so I get it. Okay, so Claudette, the free readings are just general readings, but I'm more than happy to just pull some cards for whatever you need to hear. And hopefully that'll help provide some clarity on whatever you're confused about. But if you guys want specific readings, those are paid readings. And the link is in the pinned comments. And they are between $5 and $20. The cheapest one is $5, the most expensive is $20. So hello, Monica. Okay, Monica. Or wait, sorry, wrong person. Claudette. If you guys want a reading, please comment your name and I will be doing general readings for whoever I am pulled to. If you guys want a guaranteed reading or you have a specific question, there is a link in the pinned comment where you can purchase a reading. They are between $5 to $20. So Claudette, I'm not going to answer that question because that's paid, but I will give you the message that I have for you, okay? So we have the Seven of Swords coming up reversed. We have the Four of Swords coming up. We have the Ace of Cups coming up. We have the Knight of Cups coming up. We have the King of Pentacles. We have the Nine of Cups reversed, and we have the Page of Cups. I feel like your confusion is caused by an overabundance of emotions, and you have to start getting rid of thoughts. It's an excess of stuff, an overflow of stuff, particularly I feel like it's more in your head and then it bleeds over into your emotions, and that's what's causing the confusion. So you have so much going on emotionally and mentally that it causes a lot of confusion. You need to find ways to get rid of this energy and express it, whether that be through music, whether that be through art, whether that be through writing, whether that be through meditation. However you do that, it's getting out in nature, going for a walk. This energy has to move, okay? It is very important for it to move. The more it stagnates, the more it stays solid with this King of Pentacles and it stays cooled up, the more confusing it gets. If you want clarity, you've got to move it with this Knight of Cups, okay? And that means expressing it, getting it going. Again, that can be through whatever outlet works for you, okay? Everybody expresses things differently. So however you express your thoughts, however you express your emotions, that's what you want to do just to get it out. Because it's building up, and that's what's causing your confusion. Kayla, awesome. So hopefully that helps. Kayla. Let me grab your reading. Okay. So Kayla, did you have a specific question for me? Perfect. And then you give me a general past, present, and future. I can. You want me to look into your love life? Okay. So I can definitely look into your love life if you would want. Past, present, and future, I will give the disclaimer. I typically don't do future readings, and here's why. Because the future is always changing and it's fluid. So I could give you a reading now, and you could change the future by a decision you make 5 minutes from now. So that reading would be canceled, it would be void, and I feel like it's a waste of money. So I don't want people wasting their money for me to give a reading that could change in 5 minutes from now, right? I would much rather give you guys advice or, things that you can utilize and use in your everyday life. So if you want, I can definitely look into love life. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's a way it's a waste of time. I mean, I can do it if you want me to, but to me it's a waste of money. Okay, let's look into your love life. Good night, Claudette. Love, woo. It started out really good. Okay, so the general. Okay, so I'm gonna give you what I'm getting, and we'll go from there. So we have the Nine of Cups coming up, the Devil card coming up, and the Magician card coming up for a general for your love life, and then the Star card reversed. I feel like there's a lot of fantasy going on here. So the Nine of Cups, what I was immediately drawn to was the genie in this card, and that represents necessary wishful thinking to me. Especially tied to the devil. Okay. So when we have the Nine of Cups, the Nine of Cups is usually a really good card. When it's tied to the devil, not so much. So this is saying to beware of getting caught up in fantasies and illusions when it comes to your love life. Okay. I feel like you have a very active imagination, and it's easy for you to get caught up in the fantasy of things or what you want or wish things to be that you don't necessarily see the reality. There we go. Oh my goodness. Sorry about that, guys. Kara's messaging you.
Yeah, that's fine. Don't worry about it. Just be ready.
Okay. Just thought I mentioned it. Okay, guys. I'm sorry about that. Technical difficulties. Anyways, Chrislyn, so as I was saying, I feel like you have a very strong and vivid imagination and that you use it a lot, but I also feel like that impacts your relationships. So just be cautious and careful about getting caught up, like I said, in the fantasy of relationships instead of the reality of it, okay? The Devil card is also connected to Capricorn energy, which is very much realism, right? The real world around us. And the Nine of Cups is like wishing. It's that very wishful thinking. Not wishful thinking, but wish energy, right? So again, sometimes you can get caught up in fantasies and wishes and things the way you wish things were as opposed to reality, right? I feel also that sometimes you think people should be a certain way and you get expectations built up about them, and that kind of keeps you chained and held back in your relationships as well, because people how am I going to word this? Again, you get ideas built up in your head of the way people are or the way that they should be, and when they don't meet those expectations, it kind of causes an issue because that's not who they really are, right? It's again that wish versus reality. And I feel like that plays a big thing in your relationships in general. With the Magician card coming up, it's saying that you are the manifestor. You are the person who makes everything a reality. Okay. So you can create a reality in which you can have all your wishes and dreams come true, but I feel like that's just going to keep you limited in a lot of ways. The other thing that's coming through is you need to unchain yourself from these expectations, okay, in order to have the fulfilled relationship that you want. Okay, you have to let go of these expectations. You have to let go of this thought and this wishful thinking, and that's when you're going to be happy. Because right now it feels like you're not necessarily happy because the relationship that gets built up in your head is not the same as the relationship of what it actually is, right? And that's a trap that a lot of people fall into. All you have to do is remember that you create things. So the more you focus on that fantasy and what you want, the more you attract and pull those types of people into your life. So I'm also picking up that if you're this is kind of going all over the place because I feel like it's you and it's them. And that's going to be a lot of weirdness to it. But I feel like you get this fantasy built up and then you attract these people who seem almost too good to be true because that's the energy you're putting out. Like, I want this perfect, dreamy, romantic person and this romantic, dreamy kind of relationship, and then you pull in these elusive people, right? These people who appear much better than they actually are. And then once you start a relationship, you realize that, oh, well, this isn't exactly what I thought it would be. There's a lot of different layers to it. There's a lot of distrust because they fronted and pretended to be someone that they were not. But that is because that is what you wanted and that is what you drew to you, right? So if you want something different, you got to get real. You got to cut free those ties and those illusions and those things those fantasies, and see things for the reality they are. Okay. And then that's when you're going to manifest a better relationship for you. Does that make sense? So when it comes to who you're dealing with, right from these cards, like I can tell you, like you attract people who want to be everything. They want to be your dream come true, but then underneath of it, and that's the way they front, right? And they're thinking that because that's what they legitimately want. They want to be everything they can be to make you happy, but then they end up changing who they really are to make you happy because they think that that's what you want. And then you're like, no, then you kind of view that as deceptive because that's not really who they are at the core of things. And then that's not the real them. That's not the realistic them. Right. And then that's what causes all these conflicts. Right. Whereas if you can just, these people, once you learn to let go of this desire for the complete romance and the complete package and the complete fantasy, then you'll attract more real people to you that aren't going to be caught up in this energy, right? This energy isn't bad energy. These people really want to make you happy, and they're doing what they're doing because they think that that is what makes you happy, or this person in general. They do what they do because they think that that's what's going to make you happy. But that isn't what makes you happy. And in the end, it just causes more conflict because the devil card comes up because you're like, that, well, that's not who you really are. And that's not what I wanted. So it's like a catch-22. They try to be who you want them to be, but then when they aren't authentic, then it gets messy because they aren't being who they really are. And then that causes conflict. So it just seems like a no-win situation, and then they're gone. The cards are saying, like, you just got to cut yourself free from this illusion. I would be honest with them. I think even with 6 planets in retrograde, I would be honest with them. Because with the 6 planets in retrograde, things are going to come out. Especially, we have what? Pluto in retrograde, Saturn in retrograde. Pluto in and of itself in retrograde brings out secrets, things that are buried. So if you aren't, Neptune's still in retrograde too, I believe, or did that go direct? I can't remember. There's so many planets in retrograde at the moment. But a lot of them, like when planets go retrograde, it's a good time to do that introspective work and to revisit things, right? So if you haven't been 100% upfront with people, it's a good time to start being upfront and to correct that behavior so that you can move forward when they do go back direct. Although I know a lot of them aren't going back direct for a bit, but it's always, 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 always good timing to be honest with people, because I think people need the honest truth. And I think right now, too, with the planets retrograde, it might soften the blow a little bit. I don't know why, but they're like, it might soften the blow. Well, I think the only way to get to the bottom of that is to have a conversation with them. Because there does seem to be a lot of confusion and fantasies built up around this situation. You're a mess. The fun thing about messes is it can be sorted through. But the star card reversed did come up underneath, so not being honest. If you've ever met Aquariuses or dealt with an Aquarius, one thing that they're very well known for, along with Sagittariuses, are being brutally freaking honest with people. Like brutally. Like, so I feel like it's definitely with that reversed. I wouldn't say hiding the truth is the best thing because it will come out eventually. And then you have the challenge of, you know, people feeling like you were hiding things or you can't be trusted or deception and that kind of thing. So and the Magician card is also Mercury energy as well. So that talks about communication. Hello, Ashleen. Three planets in your 12th house. Oh. See, I'd be worried if somebody had planets in my 12th house, only because, well, that can be a good thing, meaning they see deeper into you than most people would. But at the other same time, like, that's the house of your undoing as well. So, I mean, that's not carefully maneuvered. They could be your undoing. Which I'd be worried about. 12th house is also confinement and imprisonment, things that keep us stuck, things we need to release, things we need to let go of. But that's the other thing too. You seem like you have a very high knowledge on astrology, and the star card is also the astrology card. So the answers you're looking for might very well be already there. You're just not seeing them. But again, when you're reading charts or cards or anything like that, objectively is the key, right? And sometimes when we're reading our own relationship stuff, I've even had this happen reading my own charts or my own cards. We're too close to the situation, and then we start reading things from our own wants and desires, and we miss a lot of things there. Don't ignore them. You can't ignore them. That's never a good thing. I don't have any planets in my 12th house. I have Virgo in my 12th house though, so my undoing is like nitpicking at people. And I think, and my husband has a crap ton of of planets in Virgo. So like me and him have had to be very careful too, because I am quite aware that he can be my undoing if I'm not careful. But he's also somebody who activates that energy, right? That spiritual energy and that connection for me as well. You can if you want to. I won't do it right now, but I can try later on. Although I am working a lot this week, so I'm not quite sure when I'll be able to do it. But if you want to. You like to explore things. Okay. I think the phone just overheated before. I think that's what happened. Although now it's charging, so I'm wondering if my computer went to sleep if it stopped charging. So I have it plugged into my laptop. That's what I get. That's what I get. You were born on a new moon? Or around a new moon? I should not say. It could be a waning moon, depending on where, how far apart your sun and moon are, but I'm always fascinated by new moon people because I was born on a full moon, so they're like the opposite of me. You're a Leo new moon? Oh, nice. 3 degrees apart. Oh, so they're almost like right over top of each other. I love that. I have like my sun and my Pluto are like no word of a lie, like less than a degree apart from each other. It's like my Pluto's like pretty much right over my sun in Scorpio. So it's crazy shit. Hello, Kristen. Oh, you're a cusp. Yeah, and Scorpio ascendant. I'm a Libra ascendant, but most of my first house is Scorpio. Like Libra only occupies like maybe a quarter, if that, of my first house. Like it's a little tiny sliver of my first house is Libra, and then the rest is Scorpio energy. So that's funny. Yeah. It's always fun if you want to get into like astrology and the messed up energies. So I discovered not only do I have Pluto right over top of my sun, which messed me up in Scorpio, which is bad enough, and then my Saturn conjuncts my Mercury in Scorpio too. But which gives me very obsessive thinking. But I was born on an eclipse on top of that 2 days before Halloween. So I'm like, I feel like I can see beyond the veil so easily. It's scary sometimes. Yeah. Which I totally did not figure out the eclipse thing until like maybe a couple years ago when I was looking into like how to read eclipses and charts, because I was totally oblivious to that. And then when I realized I was born on an eclipse, I'm like, oh, that makes so much more sense now. But yeah. But 0 degrees on Leo. So you're like right on the cusp of Cancer in Leo. That's interesting. That would be such a weird, like, I think honestly from Cancer to Leo is like such a switch in dynamics. I don't know how that energy would. That's kind of interesting. I always find cusp people interesting too, because 45 minutes and you would have been a Cancer. Oh. Your Mars and Venus are in Cancer. Nice. Oh my goodness. I wouldn't want a Mars in Cancer. Poor Mars. Although I have a Mars in Libra, so I cannot talk because Mars is like completely detrimented in Libra. But yeah, I think out of all the placements besides, Libra, I think Cancer, poor Mars in Cancer would be like all up in the feels. Venus I can totally see there. Mars I cannot. It's like this highly emotional person that just wants to fight. That would be very like emotionally reactive. It's in your 8th house. Oh. Yeah, I have my moon in my 8th house. It's brutal. That house in and of itself is brutal. Cancer's got enough feelings. Sticking it in the 8th house and adding that depth to it. Oh, no. That'd be like Cancer on steroids. Okay, guys. Oh my goodness, I didn't even realize I've been on for 2 hours. I'm going to jump off though, guys, because I just realized I've been on for 2 hours, and I promised I would get off. I promised myself I would get off at 2 hours because I have to go work tomorrow, and I start fairly early. Well, not fairly early in the morning. It's decent time, but I still have to be up early enough. So, and if I go to work tired, my bosses are not going to like me much. So I am going to call it a night. And thank you, everyone who purchased readings from me, who let me read for you. You guys are awesome. If you are watching on YouTube and you have not already, please subscribe to my channel. Or if you're watching on Facebook and if you have not already, please feel free to follow my page. You guys are amazing and awesome. And I hope you guys all have an amazing night. And I will see you guys all. I'll be live again when I'm live again, which will probably be my next day off is Sunday. So I might be on Saturday night depending on how I feel after work. But I hope you guys all have an amazing night and an amazing rest of your week. And I shall see you guys all when I'm live again. I will talk to you all soon. Bye, guys.